Hey guys, Shane here again with One Shift at a Time. We're doing episode 19 of the NHL Power Rankings. How you doing? Hoping you're all having a great Saturday night. That insane Flames Colorado game just ended, so we're going to get this thing out as soon as we can. Number 10, and making their first appearance in my top 10 power rankings ever, it's the Dallas Stars, man. They're winners of 3 straight, and they're playing some really good hockey lately. Ever since February, honestly. They had a big win over the Jets, the Kings, and the Sabers this week. So they also head to the Minnesota. They play Minnesota in the state of hockey on tomorrow at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. So that should be a winnable game because the Wild are definitely finding themselves struggling and are definitely looking on the outside, looking in on that wild card picture now, which is insane. The West wild card is going to be absolutely nuts this year. Mark my words. Number 9, and they're dropping 5 spots. Another tough week. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs, man. They did beat the Capitals, but they dropped 2 winnable games this week against the Buffalo Sabers and tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. Yes, the Vancouver Canucks are in desperation mode. They're playing some damn good hockey. They have put themselves into that wild card conversation where they were totally out of it a couple weeks ago. But they need to bounce back as they take on the Blue Jackets, the Krakens, and the Coyotes coming up this week. These are games the Leafs need to win if they're gonna make some noise in the playoffs. They can't go on a losing streak now. The Toronto media will kill them. Number 8, and they're going to be up 2 spots this week. That is the Boston Bruins. They're being backstopped by Jeremy Swayman, and man, is that a great story coming out of Boston. They thought that they were going to be up a creek in the goalie department this year, but now with him, their goals against per game ranks 5th in the whole league at 2.27. They smoked the Kings 7-0, but then they beat the Golden Knights and Columbus as well. They host LA in a rematch, and I think we're going to see a much better LA team in that one. So we'll see how that goes. Number 7, they're up a spot this weekend. We have the New York Rangers. They started this week with a tough loss to the Canucks. Again, it seems to be a trend. They bounced back though. They beat the Devils and the Blues, and they've only lost once in their last 5 games. So they want to keep it going as they also head to Minnesota, and then they're going to take on the Jets. So again, some tougher games with some teams that are definitely fighting for their spots. Number 6, and they're going to be moving up 3 spots this week, and we got the Pittsburgh Penguins. And yes, I know, they did lose tonight, but it wasn't overtime, and it was to the Carolina Hurricanes, so I didn't punish them too much, because that's a damn good team. They also beat the Bolts 5-1, and they also beat Columbus, so they're going to finish off the road trip. Actually, it's not a road trip. This is going to be a home game against Florida, even though they did just take on Carolina and Tampa at their home. They will be heading back for a home game in that one. So that one should tell us a little more. And in 5th place, man, after one of the best games I've seen this season, man, that Calgary-Colorado game had a playoff feel from start to finish. It was almost always tied, and it could have gone either way until that amazing clutch pass up the boards to Johnny Gaudreau, who buried it in overtime. So that is going to move them up. I believe they're in 5th, so that is a movement of 2 spots up. They won those back-to-back games against Minnesota at home and then in Minnesota. Then they did lose that one to Minnesota or to Montreal in overtime, but then they came back and beat one of the best teams in the league in overtime. So they're going to move up. They're going to have a big match coming up, the Battle of Alberta. It doesn't matter how Edmonton's playing, they always bring it for that game. So look for that to be another great game. That's going to be Monday in Calgary. Number 4, we got the Panthers, and they're clawing their back up 1 spot there. They had big wins over Detroit. It was 6-2 and Ottawa 3-0 this week. So they only had the 2 games, but they were able to win them both and kind of convincingly. They also did benefit from the big drop of the Leafs, so they're going to move up because of that. They head to Buffalo to take on the Sabres Monday before Tuesday. They head to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins, so a couple of quick games for them, quick turnarounds. Let's see how they play. Number 3, and that's the same spot as they were last week. That is going to be your Tampa Bay Lightning. They did have, as we talked about, that big setback against the Penguins, 5-1. But also they did pretty good. They had wins over the Senators and the Red Wings this week. I just didn't think that was enough to move them up because it was a 5-1 loss, and Carolina did beat Pittsburgh 2-1. It wasn't overtime, so it just I have a hard time with these top three. Tampa, and if they keep landing up, they're going to be able to move up, but it's going to have to take Colorado or Carolina blinking. Number two, we do have someone who blinked a bit this week, and that is the Colorado Avalanche. They have given up their first spot, because I think that for the first time this year, they've lost back-to-back games. They lost to Arizona, and then tonight again against Calgary. So I don't think this is big problems. I don't think this is going to affect Colorado at all. In fact, this might just anger them, and they might go into New York to take on the Islanders and just mollywop them. So do watch for that. That is definitely something that could happen, and that game is going to be on Monday. So, number one, and I think very well deserved, it is going to be your first place Carolina Hurricanes. They've been right there all season. They didn't have the huge week, but they did have 2 wins and 2 losses compared to Colorado, who had the 1 win and 2 losses. So that was just enough to give them that edge, because Colorado also had a bad week last week. So 2 bad weeks in a row is going to do it. Again, Carolina has been playing good. I said this last week. Who's going to beat them? I don't know. I don't know who's going to beat them. This is going to be a juggernaut in the playoffs. Let me know though, guys. What do you think? Who are your top 3, top 5, top 10, whatever you want to do? Let me know in the comments below. If you did like this video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next episode.